Outlaw Sports is brought to you by Molson Canadian, made from Canada, and Rocky Mountain Barbecue, Alberta barbecue cuisine at its best.
Well, the Stampeders at 6-2 take on the Edmonton Eskimos in a home-and-home series Labor Day. Wow. Eskimos off to that fast start and even quicker decline, because I think right now, as the year the Stampeders won the Grey Cup, I thought their season was determined through these two Labor Day games. And they found the, I remember sitting up there at the press box and they were going, man, these guys could, be in a bad, bad hole by the time they're finished up in Edmonton. It can turn around that way. You got a chance to nail all the nails on the coffin for the Edmonton Eskimos and run away with the West. I mean, who's going to catch you in the West if you win 2 more games?
That might not be a good thing. You'd want
saw it last year, didn't we?
Right, but yeah, you might want to be playing some important games down the stretch. The way that the Stamps actually finish out the season in Montreal in Montreal home to Winnipeg, if those games are meaningless, that's going to be a tough last month of the season to just maintain focus and have your A game every night. And then, of course, hosting the West Final, you might be 6 weeks before you're between important games. The thing is about this series, yeah, they can bury the Eskimos, but I think the Eskimos are going to rebound in the second half. I think they're more like the team we saw in the first 5 than the one we saw in the last 3. Now, they have to get healthy in the receiving core. Obviously, Fred Stamps and Jason Barnes and Darius Bowman, those guys are key to their season. Those guys are going to have to come back and have some efficiency. They can't get by with just receivers off the street. There's no way they can do it.
Bad offensive line, bad defensive line.
Right.
I mean, the Stamps are second from the bottom in quarterback sacks and putting pressure on the quarterback this year.
Well,
is that? Do you not agree with that statement? Do you not think they're? Do you think they're?
The one thing that I don't always look at the sack stats with Chris Jones, because for one thing, he doesn't care about it.
Yeah.
He simply does not give a damn if they have a quarterback sack. He likes knockdowns. He likes guys getting in passing lanes, and he just likes pressures. So he doesn't actually count the actual times they put the quarterback on the ground. Now, fans love sacks. It's a big thing, and people love
sports guys love sacks.
Yeah, people like to do sack dances and that kind of thing. The one thing is the Stamps secondary makes up for a lot of that. They might not get a lot of pressure, but the Stamps secondary has done a great job of covering guys, and they're always going to allow some big plays. You look at the amount of points they allowed this year; they're right up there and not giving up the big bombs as they did in the last couple of years when they did actually lose games.
Yeah. Ricky Ray, not the strongest arm in the league, but one of the most accurate. Mm-hmm. But he needs that time, and they haven't been giving him that time in the last 3 games. I know the receiving core is out, but man, if they get him off his game like that, they can smell the blood and go after him. That's the key to beating the Eskimos, isn't it?
Right, and Ricky Ray's always been great at his checkdowns, going to his running backs when he doesn't have anything downfield. And the thing is that Marcus Crandall was doing a great job of knowing the limitations of his offensive line, making the plays happen real quick so that Ricky didn't have to sit there and wait and then try to evade pressure. He's not great at evading pressure. He can do it, but it's one of those things where he throws better when he's stuck standing in the pocket, nice and set. I think once they figure out what their receiving core is going to be and keep it long term, knock on wood long term, right? Who knows if another guy gets kicked in the groin and has internal bleeding. Yeah. You can never predict those things. The offense will get a little bit better, but they were relying on the hut, drop back, throw it as quick as possible, 1.5 seconds, and that was where they were making their hay early in the year.
Let me ask you one quick question. Marcus Crandall as an offensive coordinator. To me, when that happened, I was just surprised. I mean, I followed this guy. We followed him here with the Stampeders. To me, he wasn't grasping the situation. Now he's an offensive coordinator. Am I the only one thinking this way, or what were your thoughts?
No, I had the same reaction you did. Is this the same Marcus Crandall who didn't have any input into the offense in 2003 and 2004 when it was basically him and a bunch of rookie quarterbacks, and they just had no creativity or want to in that part. Now, maybe it's a bit different when he was in charge, and he went to Saskatchewan and became a quarterbacks coach first, did that for a few years and worked with Darian Durant. And obviously had some success there, and then gets the opportunity to design what he wants to do. Obviously, he's got some familiarity with Kavis Reed and Eric Tillman, so they must see what has made him get the job was that he has some good ideas, and he can work with some personnel, and when he has a quarterback like Ricky Ray, it's much easier to work with.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I'm glad you're thinking along the same page, because I was just sitting there going, "How the hell?" Well,
it's too bad it's too bad if you were looking for an argument. Sorry.
No, I'm not looking for an argument. Someone to validate what I was thinking is fine.
Daily affirmation.
Hi, I'm Henry Burris. I love Calgary, and I'm proud to call this place home. While Calgary has an interesting history, there aren't a lot of buildings that remain since the early days, and some of those that are left are in pretty bad shape.
Now we can revitalize this area with the use of robotic parking. It's efficient, it's accessible, and it's safe. The best part is that it's easy to use. For more information and a chance to invest with us, visit 7th Avenue Autopark.com.